didn't even realize.
Hey, this is Joe Castiglione, and you're listening to Not Another Sox Podcast. Can you believe it?
Yankees suck! Yankees suck!
You're up. Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Not Another Sox Podcast. I am Jack Webster here with our producer, Ian Doran, coming at you live from Providence, Rhode Island. Fellas, we have won 9 in a row, half a game out of a playoff spot, rolling into the All-Star break. Fellas, how we doing?
What button are you pressing, Jack? Is it the air horn button?
You know which button I'm pressing.
Is it the if my grandma sees this? No, it's the air horn. Is it the gong? Is
Yeah,
it the
I
dodgeball?
did the gong.
Yeah.
I was doing a bunch of air horns than the gong. Yeah.
To answer your question, I feel so fucking good, Jack Webster!
Yeah, like,
I am psyched to be a Red Sox fan.
I know. I was holding out some, like, reservations over, like, the last week or two. You know, we had the sweep of the Yankees, and then, obviously, that National Series, and then, like, and then we had the Angel Series, and it was like, okay, like, it's the Angels.
Right.
Like, I was like, okay, let's hold off reservation, but, like, right now, I mean, 9 in a row heading into the All-Star break. History repeats itself of just extended winning streaks in unlikely fashions to head into the All-Star break and really turn your season around. I've talked about it several times on here. We've been waiting for this streak like all year, and it hasn't happened, and it finally has. And, you know, what is it, like 13-2 over the last 15, if I can count.
14 and 16.
14,
Yep.
yeah, even better.
So 13 and 15 is correct.
Yeah, technically correct.
Technically
I am right.
correct.
Yeah, I am technically right. So, truly unbelievable. I did not see this. I did not see this coming. Delighted.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not what I expected. Delighted with the results. I am excited by the results. I'm still like cautiously excited because we went on a 9-game win streak and this team isn't even back to 500 yet. But like, what button? What buttons are you pressing?
I know. It almost pisses me off more about the rest of the season because there's been like a dozen games this year you could probably count where it's just like, we really should have won those. And that happens every year. You know, every team has games where they should have won. Let's say we win half of those and we are 6 games better than we are right now. And you're in a driver's seat and everything. You know, you can't do revisionist history at the end of the day because maybe there was a game or two we should have lost in this stretch or whatever. Doesn't matter. But anyways, like, it really just goes to show it's a long fucking season with ups and downs, and we're in the up right now, and everything's golden. We're never gonna die.
Stay gold, pony boy.
Yeah.
Never gonna die, ever. And you know what? I've done this to myself a couple times. I forget that like June, July is when the Sox start like catching a little more fire. We were all calling for Breslow's head, 3 weeks ago at this point, and now it looks like a team of Breslow boys are kind of carrying us forward. And the Yankees are collapsing right on schedule.
They suck so fucking bad.
You know what button
I sure do.
Yep.
I know the button.
Yep.
So here we are, July. Sox back on the up and up. Yankees back on the down and down. All-Star games coming up. We got the Home Run Derby tonight as we're recording this. I feel pretty good.
It's hard not to feel good right now. I mean, and it's not only that the fact that we have won 9 in a row. There's been a lot of really convincing wins in there where the pitching and defense, the thing that this club was built around, has been carrying us. And now the bats are finally waking up for the most part. Obviously, you're not going to score 7-8 runs every game, but it feels like, when's the last time we gave up more than 4 or 5 runs in a game? Like, I don't think it's happened even during this entire stretch at all. Like, and you've had guys get hurt. You had Ranger. You had Early get hurt during this, like, extended streak. You've had, like, Patrick Sandoval and and Brian Bayo come up, which we'll get to all of that as well.
Right.
But, like,
Myers hurt too, don't forget.
Myers hurt too, yeah. It's everybody contributing on the pitching side of things. The defense has been great this year, and we're finally seeing what this complete product, even with some of our guys like Crochet, Meyer, Roman, etc. hurt. But, like, you're really seeing the vision that Craig Breslow and company had when they were building this team,
right,
and what we were supposed to be all year.
Yes. You're seeing a lot more small ball out of the players, which is working.
Which I think is a lot from Chad Tracy.
Yes, I was going to say, you're seeing a lot of successful strategic moves forward from Chad Tracy, which is great.
And I'm going to get into that on this when we get to Sunday's game, but yeah.
Yep, and you're now officially positive in the Chad Tracy era. That feels good as well. I also want to say, fuck the shredder. Wilson Contreras has hit 20 home runs for the Red Sox.
Yeah, that has happened since
then. The
then.
Shredder is a computer and an evil guy in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and both of them are losers. Losers.
Yeah.
Suckers.
And I think everybody with a brain, even all the analytics people, are like, yeah, somebody on the Red Sox is going to hit 20 home runs. But I would have been probably surprised if you told me somebody on this team would have hit 20 home runs before the All-Star break. And now we have a chance for somebody to hit 30, which I was legitimately concerned we might not have a 30 home run guy. You're hoping for Willier, maybe. You're maybe hoping for Roman. You're like, but Wilson Contreras has never hit 30 in his career in a single season before.
Right.
And as long as he comes back from the suspension and injury, he is looking primed to do that. So
right.
I guess we can just kind of, segue into that.
Whoa.
Since, obviously,
Contreras was suspended?
Oh man, yeah. The longest limbo of is this gonna get reduced? Like, what is happening here? Like, you started to hear Cade Savali, his got reduced. Nate Eden, his even got reduced by a game, and it was still another 2 or 3 days where it's just yeah, what's happening with Wilson? Are we gonna have this guy before the All-Star break? And I think even last time we recorded, he wasn't officially an All-Star yet, and he's gonna be in the Home Run Derby coming up later tonight, which also wasn't a thing. So I think that kind of helped his case.
Yeah,
where it was just hey, I'm gonna do the Home Run Derby since no one else wants to fucking do it. I'm gonna be, the All-Star replacement for you. How about you reduce my, suspension a little bit? And then he fouled that ball off his foot and tried to stay in the game. And then, right after that, it's just I'm just gonna accept the 5 games.
Yeah.
And it's just okay, we'll rest up. It's unfortunate that you lose your best hitter with one more game left with the White Sox, and you'll lose them in the first game of the doubleheader against the Rays after the break and everything, which is whatever at this point, obviously. So, kind of a good time for him to rest up, especially if he is doing all this All-Star festivities and the Derby and probably going to play in the game. So, if there was ever a perfect time to get suspended, it was probably right then and there. It was hilarious.
It was. Do you think Contreras keeps the pace that he has had so far throughout the rest of the year?
No, I think he gets even hotter.
Whoa!
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, he is a top 10 bat in baseball right now in terms of OPS.
Yeah.
It's undeniable. He should have been an all-star right off the bat. I'm not going to get too upset if it's somebody that gets added on later. We'll get to, Sadon and Sonny Gray, I'm sure, in a little bit too.
Yeah.
But he absolutely deserved it. It's nice to see, and obviously now that we're in a lot better position than we were 2-3 weeks ago, I'm hoping all those trade talks just fucking die. They should have never been a thing with Wilson, but now especially where we are, in the standings and with our playoff odds skyrocketing from that Colorado series,
right?
It makes zero sense to trade him, and it never made any sense, but now even less.
What do we go from 16% to 36%?
8%. to 40+% right now.
Let's go.
We were under 10% after that Rockies series.
Ooh.
And now I check daily. Like I have been like, it's like going up like 5% every day after every win. And other teams are also doing bad in this shit ass American League.
Yeah.
And you know,
Many are calling it the worst American League in the history of American leagues.
Wow. Who was that?
I don't know. It was a combination of politicians.
Yeah.
I do too.
I looked it up. I actually looked it up earlier today. We would be 4.5 out in the NL wild card. Instead, we are half a game out in the American League wild card. So you take it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Wait, where's that half a game coming from? Who's ahead of us by half a game?
I believe the Mariners and the Twins. I think the Yankees are in a wild card spot, and I forget who else.
Oh, all competitive ball clubs.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
None of them are.
Fuck
yeah.
those guys.
I don't even think the Rays are that good. Like,
no, I mean, I say it all the time, right? This is classic Rays. They're going to stack a ton of wins early in the season, and then they're going to get hurt, and something's going to happen in the next month. They're going to drop off a cliff. I think the Rays make it to the playoffs regardless. I mean,
at this point, yeah.
They barely have to keep the pace that they've been keeping, and they could definitely slide back and still be able to be a playoff team. But Rays aside, Yankees are not good. Mariners are always hurt. Twins are ass. And Byron Buxton is hurt now. I kind of like the Sox chances. In fact, I'm willy starting to like the Red Sox chances.
I'm trying not to get too excited at the same time.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you still have to step back and see the full picture. We're still under 500. We're still not in a playoff spot in this shit butt American League. And you have a tough schedule immediately after the break, playing 7 games in 6 days, including 4 against the Rays. And you're currently down several starting pitchers, and you're already using Brian Bayo, and you're gonna really. I feel like that by the time we record next week, we're gonna have a really better idea of who this team is. Since no disrespect to the White Sox, some disrespect to the Angels, and some disrespect to the Mets.
Yeah.
But, like, these are teams that you should have beat. And you don't always beat all those teams. That's baseball, obviously, you know. But the fact that you are taking care of business against, you know, the teams that you need to right now, very encouraging. But obviously we did have that sweep against the Yankees, who are shit butt.
They suck so fucking bad.
But I think the Rays are going to be a true test of. It's going to be a true dick measuring contest. Like, we got to see how we are, especially at home. We've talked about so much this year about how much better this team is on the road versus at Fenway, and we do have to still play a lot of games at Fenway. So hopefully now that this team is gelling together and the vibes are immaculate right now, that some home cooking might actually help us. But to do it 9 games on the road is the most 2026 Red Sox thing that you could have possibly imagined out of these 9 games.
It really is. I have what might turn out to be a segue. Do you feel like talking about Sonny Gray a little bit if I do this segue?
Yes, absolutely. Let's
Brilliant.
talk a little Sonny Gray.
Brilliant. So the segue that I have for you, because you mentioned that we have injuries to the starting rotation. In fact, 4 of the initial 5 guys in your starting rotation are injured. Casey and the Sunshine Band. You got 4 of your 5 guys are out on injury right now. Crochet is down. Suarez is down. Early is down. Oviedo was initially your projected 5th. Oviedo has gone down. The only anchor that you have from your initial 5 is Sonny fucking Gray, who for some reason still has not been called to the All-Star game, has top 5 ERA in the sport in the American League right now.
I think even in all of baseball. I think it's top 10 in all of baseball, so
It's
we don't have to
definitely-
look it up. It doesn't matter if it's point. Sonny Gray has a better ERA than All-Star Game starter Dylan Cease
Who?
by .02.
Yeah,
But
it counts.
But it counts. Yeah. An ERA, it's not the stat it used to be even 5 years ago. I mean, but what he's doing right now, and obviously wins and losses aren't what they were, 20 years ago. But the fact that he's 11-1 on a shit butt team, and he has been doing it all year, other than maybe one or two rocky starts at the very beginning of the season, I can't imagine how there are like 10 other better like pitchers in the American League than him right now. It's sad. And I am a big fan of getting some of these young guys in first time, and he's been an all-star before, but like for someone like Sonny Gray, who's probably nearing the end of his career within the next 3-4 plus years,
Yeah.
you don't know when your last All-Star game might be, and he might have been robbed of that, and that's unfortunate. He's had an amazing season. At the end of the day, it's just something on your baseball reference page, and it's not like he's probably going to make the Hall of Fame anyways, and it's really going to count towards it, but like when you're looking back at his career, like him being a 4-time All-Star versus a 3-time All-Star, that is a big difference.
And he does it in a Red Sox hat for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, might as well at this point.
I mean, I think he does love Boston. I don't think one year would put him in the Hall in a hat. I don't think he makes it to the Hall, but he has been fantastic this year. I think the thing about Sonny Gray, maybe this year in particular, is he's not shiny. Like Dylan Cease is well known for throwing these weird pitches, and he has a palm ball, and he gets a lot of good strikeouts.
And he almost threw a no-hitter the other day.
Yeah, the funny thing about what you just said is almost. I know a couple guys in our team that have.
And if my
almost
mom
done
had wheels, she'd be a bike.
Yeah. Sorry, that's one of my favorite phrases of all fucking time. But Sonny Gray, not too flashy, not too shiny, but shows up and gets the fucking work done. Even at throwing 90, 92, 93 on the fastball, is getting the work done. He's getting you strikeouts. He's getting you deep in games. He has a I have it right in front of me. I actually lost it. Really low ERA, top 10
I believe
in the
it's
sport.
254.
I think that's right. I was going to go 268, but that might be Ranger is 268. Anyway, Sonny Gray not making it to the All-Star game to me feels like such a middle finger. And they tried doing that with Wheeler when they called Wheeler and they were like, hey, do you want to pitch in the All-Star game? He's like, I don't know what you're doing here asking me to be someone's second choice for the All-Star game, but no, I'm not going.
Ardo.
Oh! You think he should have gone?
Come on. You can't complain about not going and then be like, hey, like, do you want to go? No, you didn't pick me at first.
No.
Especially when it's in your home ballpark in Philadelphia. And same things. Like, Sonny or Zach Wheeler might not be a Hall of Famer, but like, hey, having that extra All-Star game on your resume when looking back, I feel like, we all know he should have made it, and he has been great on my fantasy team. I'm a big Zach Wheeler fan, but it seemed like a very
Big
hard
Wheeler,
thing,
big Wheeler guy. Well, our hats off to Sonny Gray. He's been excellent for this team. It is a travesty he has not made it to the All-Star game, but what's a girl to do?
I would rather have him just pitch this well and, be in there. And I like that Sonny Gray, like, in his first month, he was doing all right. The ERA was, in check, probably, like, low to mid threes. And, he was winning games. But, like, it wasn't, like, necessarily the most impressive, like, dominating starts. And he's just like, oh, yeah, I should start striking out more guys. And then he just did. He's like, I'm just going to start getting more whiffs and strikeouts and not walk guys and barely give up any homers. So all the FIP is, great there. And it's just like, it's literally like at the end of the 55 burgers, 55 fries sketch. He's like, oh, yeah, I can just run.
Yeah.
That was Sonny Gray with strikeouts.
And now he's good at baseball again. Great reference, by the way.
Thank you.
For all of our listeners out there.
Yeah.
I got to put more. I think you should leave bits in our.
I feel like that should just be our entire soundboard and like the air horn.
Yeah, right now we just have the one, which is great. But Sonny Gray aside, and while we're talking about the rotation, we got a positive update regarding Early's injury.
What a concept, getting a positive update.
I'm skeptical because they're like, oh, yeah, he's doing fine.
We still don't really know either, by the way.
Yeah.
We just know it's not Tommy John.
Yes, which, thank God, that's kind of the one you want to avoid. But, I mean, Crochet, it was like, oh, yeah, a little inflammation, you'll be fine. And maybe you get him back in late August if you're lucky. I mean, I doubt that right now, truthfully. Same with Roman Anthony. They're like, ooh, he pulled his pinky finger. And then they're like, actually, he doesn't have a pinky finger. Yeah. It's all gone. So I'm hoping the early
Actually,
update
he
is
lost
true.
his spleen. Where did it fucking go? He just wakes up in a bathtub in Tijuana and it's just like, God damn it, they took my kidney.
Yeah. We're doing an MRI on Roman Anthony. He's going to be on the IL for the minimum. Oh, wait, he's missing a kidney.
Yeah.
So I hope
they gave it to LeBeau.
God bless. Hi, LeBeau.
Hi, LeBeau. I know you're watching, except no, you're not.
Yeah, no, he is. He is.
Okay.
He better be. Or I'm going to hit him. Sorry, where was I? Oh, yes. Baseball. So all going really well. Good to see a positive early update. I hope we get him back quickly because so far he is having a much better year than Brian Bayo.
Yeah. And I'm glad they're not putting any timetable on. You know, we have the luxury where Patrick Sandoval came back at the perfect time, which I guess we can talk about too, since he exists. And I've said it many a times on this show. I was not convinced Patrick Sandoval existed until he actually threw a pitch for the Boston Red Sox. And he was very good in that game against the White Sox. You're looking to complete that sweep. And, you know, random Wednesday afternoon or whatever. And he was on a limit, and you didn't really know what you were going to get. And honestly, truth be told, I wasn't expecting a lot. You know, after being out for so long, I'm not going to put a lot of weight into, you know, your performance, getting back up, and the swing of things after being out for 2 years at this point.
Long time, yep.
So even if he did struggle, you know, he's coming at a time where we needed just live arms.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll get to Brian Bayo in a little while as well, I'm sure, but he actually pitched pretty well on that Wednesday afternoon game. 4 1/3 only, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 Ks though. It was how many pitches here? 65 pitches, so we'll see him gradually ramp up. I'm sure it'll be 75 to 80, and then hopefully eventually we do get that, you know, full thing, or, you know, full 100 pitches back for him. And, you know, he was good, like back in 21, 22. He was on the...
Excellent in 22. Yep.
He was on the Mexico WBC team. So I am intrigued what the Red Sox pitching lab has in store for him, because he did struggle his last few years with the Los Angeles Angels, who are a pitching poop factory. They are the complete opposite of where we are at right now. So I'm sure there's been some tweaks, a lot of, you know, strategy that goes into what Craig Breslow and Andrew Bailey and company, you know, have in store. So I'm intrigued with Patrick Sandoval right now. Am I expecting him to be that frontline guy? No, probably not. But like, if he can be a solid 4 or 5 for you when you really need him to right now, and keep you afloat and keep you in games, and, you know, just throw innings for you. That's very important, since, you know, we are testing the limits right now. As you mentioned, we're missing so many dudes.
Yeah, and he's the Red Sox type, right? Like, not just...
Left-handed.
Yes. Right. Not just left-handed, good extension. He's a 4 or 5 with pretty insane upside. And right now, he's a lot like Sonny and Ranger. Even early, he's throwing about 93 on the fastball, but he got 5 Ks in 4
I think he
innings.
even touched 95.
Sandoval touched 95?
I think Sandoval touched 95 that last start. And
Damn.
first start back, you know, coming back, And, he started and then stopped and then came back. So, like, it's not just, like, the most normal rehab start that you're going to see, but he actually, looked decent. And that's encouraging.
It is.
Because that contract's still probably not going to be the best at the end of the day, but if you get anything out of him for the rest of the year, that money does not matter whatsoever.
Yeah, wasn't it like 18 million total for the 2 years, or was it 9 million?
That it was something like that. So it was more loaded for this year, obviously,
right?
Because we knew he was going to be out pretty much all of last year. I think there was a chance he might have been able to come back at the end, and
right.
Hey, you take that risk, but
right.
the fact that you're getting anything out of it at this point, you'll take that. Since for certain points this year, it looked like that might have just been a complete just wash,
yeah.
Because I honestly did not know if we were ever going to see him in a Red Sox uniform.
I didn't know if we would either, but if you get 3 months of a level 3 starting pitcher out of Patrick Sandoval right now, contract is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, before this whole win streak and everything, and I'm sure we'll do a whole trade deadline thing once the smoke clears a little bit more and we kind of know where we're at. But I was like, hey, if he comes back and shows that he's a starting pitcher, a team might even just trade something for him because, there's not a lot of guys selling. But, right now, you just need a guy like that even.
You do, and I don't know what we do at the deadline. I think we're definitive in whether we buy or sell.
You gotta be, yeah. Since last year was the most unacceptable that you could have possibly been.
Yeah, you mean bad. Actually, I mean, as our listeners know, and for those that follow us on Twitter, we had a huge spike in our episode from last year with Joe Weil for WEEI talking about the disaster that was the deadline last year. So I think fans are a little cautious about how Breslow captains the ship 3 weeks from now, but those are obviously episodes we'll get to a little bit more. All of those trades happen at 4 p.m. on the day of the deadline, and
literally
they close at 7. So we'll see. We'll get a bit more out of that, but I like Patrick Sandoval. I want to see more out of Patrick Sandoval, specifically more good out of Patrick Sandoval.
And who knows, maybe he'll explode tomorrow. I certainly hope not, but
there's time.
Nothing would surprise me with him at this point.
Yeah. We have a few minutes before we go to our break. Was there anything else, I guess, in that White Sox series in particular that stood out to you or surprised you? Obviously, the Seagull has been on kind of a fucking tear. Wilson Contreras playing on a broken foot, and he's like, I'm gonna rip the head off. Huge fan of Wilson Contreras showing up and being a sweetie and an example for the young guys. Narvaez and Wong kind of going back and forth at the catcher spot. What in the White Sox series stands out to you as, we should keep an eye on this?
Jake Bennett.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, totally had a great start too. 6 innings, 2 hits, bunch of Ks, and you love to see that. But what we've been getting out of this kid right now, he went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, only 4 Ks, and he could have gone deeper. Only 81 pitches over those 7 innings. So if he was really let loose, that could have been a complete game shutout. And what we're getting out of him right now, I never expected. When we made that trade, literally we were live on air with Holly, shout out Australia.
Yeah.
And you did not think too much of it. Obviously, we've regurgitated that whole thing with the Luis Perales trade. But yeah, he has been unbelievable for us. I don't know where we would be without him. He has this confidence and swagger to him too, where he truly believes he's going to go out there and throw 7 shutty every night. And so far, so true.
And he do.
And then he do. And it's great to see just a successful Red Sox project, like this.
God forbid.
It's one thing when you draft and develop a kid like Connolly Early or Payne Tolley, and he's your own dude and you're able to do it. But the fact that he came over from another organization, was a top 10-ish guy in the Nats farm system, top 10-ish guy in our farm system when he came over, and now he is showing that he's not just a 4-5, he is like a 2-3 maybe, and he is gonna get every chance in this rotation for the rest of the year, even once guys start coming back.
And what a gift it is. You're going to have, obviously, Sonny Gray continuing to anchor the rotation as he has. And the guys you have filling in behind him, you have Peyton Tolley, Jake Bennett, and Patrick Sandoval as your 2, 3, and 4 behind Gray while the other guys are getting healthy again.
Yeah.
How does it get much fucking better than that? I'm asking.
Garrett Crochet, maybe he comes back. And I know he had not had the best year, but, you still always find a spot for a true frontline ace like that,
right?
You know, if you need to move somebody to the bullpen or back to AAA, which is not a problem right now with Ranger and early out. But yeah, the fact that the rotation has been this excellent without your horse, with the guy that
horses, right?
Without the guy that threw 200 innings, Cy Young runner-up that some people even argued was better than Tarek Skubal last year. Just truly unexpected. Yes.
So we're right at our half-hour mark right here, so we'll get ourselves ready to go to commercial. Obviously, when we come back, we have to talk about the airplane. We have to talk about Brian Bayo. We have to talk a bit more about the injuries on this team and what the path is moving forward. But like, comment, subscribe. Thank you to the Believe Network. Go rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. Jack Webster, who is the sponsor for our commercial tonight?
Given that I am full on them right now, it's my nose.
So stupid. What? Because they spell it with the 3 M's? Is that why you did that?
Yummy.
I'm disturbed. Why don't we go to commercial? And
I'm so full of pizza.
Stop. What if I cut that and actually make it a sound bit?
That's true. You could, yeah.
I could.
I'm so full of starting pitchers. I'm so full of defensive runs saved.
I'm going to clip all of these and put it into a song.
There you go.
Like how Macklemore's thrift shop starts with, Hey, Macklemore, can we go thrift shopping?
No, man.
Except it's going to go, I'm so full of starting pitchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we get into the Mets series here, we got a comment from friend of the show, Christy. All right, I missed the last 25 minutes. Boo. But we got to get the fit check in here since she helped with it as always.
She do.
We got a little Dodgers here. Hey, beautiful jersey. I love the Dodger blue.
Los Doyers.
We got a little 17 Shohei Ohtani kanji hat. And we'll get into it. But I got a nice little hat here at the MLB store in New York City. Little Venezuela with some flowers on it. It is beautiful. I'm excited to wear this from some fits. It's kind of hard to tell, especially on a podcast if you're listening in your car. But this isn't white. It's like a nice creamy color. I mean, I'm very much Team Cream, so I love this hat.
Don't ever describe anything as creamy ever again. Don't say that you're on Team Cream.
Nice, creamy, thick, and milky.
Team Cream, bro. Ew, dude.
Oh, man.
Ew.
Yeah.
That is a nice hat.
It is. It's a great hat.
It's fucking awesome hat. Would you steal it?
No, I did pay for it, but it was 30% off.
Oh.
30% off all WBC merch at the MLB store in New York City. This is not our ad break. This is not sponsored by the Believe Network, but it was a great deal.
No, this is a public service announcement.
This is
I'm
just
glad
a
you
public
told
service
me
announcement,
because now I got to go to the MLB store.
I know, right?
Maybe I'll check their web. I don't know. I don't know if the MLB store does a website, but Christy also says, "Don't boo me. I had to talk to my mother."
Oh man, we love. I'm not gonna dox
We
her.
love her
Yeah,
mother.
Yeah, we love
yes,
her mother,
big fan. Back to the baseball of it all, Jack Webster.
Yeah, so I feel like this is the perfect segue because, we go from the White Sox series to the Mets series, and Friday around, 1 or 2 o'clock, you start just getting these notifications like, hey, the Red Sox are still in Chicago. And you're like, what? You're like, wait, they played a day game yesterday at like noon, and it was a fairly quick one. It was a 2-1 game. You're like, what do you mean they're still in Chicago? I was like, I have Tim Healy, friend of the show here, who loves,
Hi, Tim.
and I was like, is this just like an article that was scheduled to be posted and it wasn't? And you start getting these live updates like, oh yeah, there was like problems with the team plane and they were like on the tarmac for like 6 hours like on Thursday afternoon, and then they had more plane troubles on Friday morning, and it's just like, are they gonna get to New York on time? It became a real question that like people were following real time, like, and it gets scary when you're following airplane situations real time if you're an American. Rarely good.
Why? What happened?
Rarely good. But like this was a whole saga where we were getting like every 15 minutes updates like,
and then
still
the Red
Chicago.
Sox hit the Pentagon.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Still in Chicago. And they finally took off. What, they got to Citi Field around like 5:15. Yeah.
And hey, Citi Field right next to LaGuardia, which is perfect. Like you couldn't, like, thank God they weren't flying into, what's the other airport there?
JFK.
Yeah. Like if they would have really been screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they landed in the Jersey airport,
Yeah.
and then which is very accessible from all points of New York. But you know what would have been metal as fuck if they landed the plane on the field and all the Red Sox got off.
I
and
didn't
started
know if they were
playing.
gonna like parachute in.
Yeah. Andrew Monasterio, Wilson Contreras just jumping out of a plane and
Yeah, like Navy SEALs, like, you know, just like parachuting in.
Jaron
Yeah.
Duran's dream.
Yeah, it's like the Doug Marabelli like situation. I think I tweeted it out. Even it was just like, I honestly half expected them to like all be in uniform like when they got to the ballpark. Like I honestly would have not been surprised. And like we were getting like live video feeds from every reporter, and I was a little bit worried since like the game, they were like, yeah, game still scheduled to start 7:15. It was very smart that they were able to delay it for literally like Sonny Gray's health.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what'd he do? He showed up and he pitched what, six shutout?
Six, I think 1 run, but
Six.
yeah.
JK, you're right. 6 and 1 run. Excellent outing from him still.
Yeah,
That's
and
why
like,
he should
and
be
he
an
wasn't
all-star.
necessarily the sharpest that he's ever been, but to like be able to do that, like with zero prep, like your adrenaline's obviously rushing for every single guy on that team, getting ready, getting in, you know, like not knowing the status or your regular routine, which I don't know if you know this, but baseball players are very much creatures of habits. So to not be able to do any of that, like, and still be able to dominate, like, a team that was just like getting ready normally anyways, like that's gonna be one of the most memorable games and series of events from this entire season.
Right. And there are a lot of patterns from this plane debacle that we should recognize. Firstly, it is the second plane problem they have had this year, which, not good. Airplane companies, maybe we should be better.
One specifically.
Which one?
Oh man.
Cue the John Mulaney
Yeah.
bit, which I should have added for this episode.
Whatever.
That's
Yeah,
on me.
I don't blame you on that one. Yeah.
Yep.
For
But
Delta Airlines, life is a fucking nightmare.
here, take this meal voucher that doesn't work. Go
The Wolfgang
fetch!
Puck Express. And you just hear from all the players, like Peyton Tolley's like, I had fucking 5 donuts.
Yeah. I asked if they had any protein, and they said no. So I just had another donut. But you know what? I love donuts.
Yeah.
You posted this great video of the seal clapping for a donut, which is what Peyton Tolley looks like when he gets a donut. The plane was also a problem last year that led to a winning streak. 10 before the All-Star break. this year, 9 before they had 6 wins before they got on the plane, but you get what I'm saying. Plane problems are consistent. Their winning after a plane problem is consistent. And the shirts that came out of it.
The shirts were quicker than the airplane. The shirts were there like 8 a.m. next morning.
Right.
The show and go airlines with the Red Sox logos on it. They must have been designing this before they even fucking took off. Where like they're like, all right, order placed and next day delivery to Citi Field, and they were rocking it and this is what really gets the boys going. You know, this is. I had a feeling, you know, if we won that game on Friday night, Apple TV, you know,
big Apple guy,
and we come out of the gate swinging. Juan Soto gifts us a double, and Anthony Siegler hits a 2-run double to give us the game-winning run at that point.
Yep,
and you could tell just how much they were fired up. I'm sure when you're in travel mode like that and there's so much uncertainty, you know, the blood's moving, the adrenaline's already pumping. So I imagine the crash after that game was just like they all went back to the hotel room and just, you know, zonked immediately.
Right.
And I think it was like 4 o'clock the next day. So once we won that game in convincing fashion too, I think it ended up being a 6-2 final. I was like, man, this team has it. I was like, this team can actually face some adversity and come back, because if this happens to an earlier version of this team this season, they get annihilated. I don't think anybody would blame them in that situation either if they lost that game, you know?
Yeah, I don't think so either. Was that the game that had been 1-4 up until the 8th inning? Whitlock went out, held it down. You were worried you'd have to use Chapman for back-to-back days?
I believe that's exactly what happened, yeah. Siegler hit a 2-run homer that game, too, earlier on, yeah.
Yeah. Ended up being 6-2. You got to sit Chapman down. Another veteran player that just missed a plane. Well, didn't miss a plane, but
No.
I think you're right. I think their graphic design team was quite literally designing the shirts while they were waiting.
They
on
must
the
have
tarmac.
been. They must have been, yeah.
I think they quite literally were. When those shirts come out, I think I got to get one.
They usually don't become available for the public. We might need to just make these shirts. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we can use the logos, but there's nothing to say that Show and Go Airlines is not trademarked, so we can use them.
Who's going to stop us?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking. Who's going to stop us from wearing these shirts?
Like maybe Wilson Contreras. Like him, like he will just come down and beat us up.
Yeah, Wilson Contreras is an unstoppable force, and I am unfortunately a very movable object.
Yes, yeah, the most movable object of all time.
Yeah.
You just look at me the wrong way and I move.
You could pour hot soup in my lap, and I'd apologize to you.
Yeah, this whole podcast is just Family Guy, John Mulaney, and like
I think
Family
you should
Guy
leave.
again.
Yeah, and more Family Guy.
And more Family Guy. And I think you should leave. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, this whole Mets series had so many things that I quite enjoyed in it, and it's so like the Mets to lose it the way that they did, just in general, right? They
I feel
lost
bad
all
for
three
them.
of
I
those
do.
games. I do too. There's some speculation they're sellers at the deadline.
Well, at this point, yes.
There is there has been a lot of trade hope thrown out there that maybe Red Sox look at Lindor. We've had some discussions in the house about it. I don't know if that
They're 40
materializes.
and 57 now.
That's horrible.
They're 17
Yikes.
games. Like, if we thought our season was going bad after high expectations, imagine being a Mets fan right now.
And this is the
And I have many Mets friends, and they are not having a fun time, let me tell you.
Was it, 2 years ago that they were competing for the division?
Yeah, and, like, hey, they had, like, the Pete Alonso home run off of Devin Williams that ended his
who
career.
also shat his pants.
Yeah.
The Pete Alonso, they had Edwin Diaz, who was lights out. They haven't quite gotten their pitching back up to speed the way that it was.
Yeah.
They don't lack power, but their two power bats are not the closest of friends.
Apparently not. Yeah.
Apparently not. Poor Mets. I think a lot of Red Sox fans, if they have a National League team, look at the Mets because it's the Red Sox and whoever beats the Yankees,
Yeah,
right?
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
And like they face each other once a year now. They're not even in years past they didn't even do that. So, quick travel. I'll get into it. I went on Sunday, which we'll get into after, talking about Saturday's game, but like it's a nice easy drive. You could take the train. You could take a plane. I'm not sure the Red Sox would advise that, but you could do it if you really wanted to. But yeah.
I'm all set on the plane.
Yeah.
Thank you. No more planes for me. Great series to watch. Game 1, 2, 3. Really, really enjoyed it. You did it without Meyer. You did it without Ranger. You somehow did it with Bayo. And a very eventful DFA right in the middle of all of this.
Let's talk about the Saturday game since it was a bit of a surprise since you did have the update on Ranger Suarez where you're hoping it's not too long. It's a groin thing, so you'll take that above an arm thing, obviously.
No. It was an adductor strain.
Oh, yeah. It was his penis.
That's his penis.
Yeah, it's his penis. But anyways, you're like, oh, man, guess we got to call up Brian Bayo. And then it was not Brian Bayo. It was Eduardo Rivera, who has been kind of in somewhat of a swing role in AAA. We obviously saw him in the Yankee series earlier this year, where he threw 3 1/3 shutout. So you're hoping to, see what you got out of him. It wasn't going to be 90 to 100 pitches since he hasn't been stretched out like that. But he gave you everything he had.
He looked real
3
good.
2/3, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 Ks, 64 pitches, which was going to be the high end for him. So that is as good as you could have possibly expected or asked for. And we'll see what happens with the rotation, moving forward. They haven't optioned him yet, but I want to see him stretched out as a starter. I want to see what he looks like, third, fourth time through the order, even if it is in AAA. And, I've heard this so much throughout this year. It's just like, oh, you can't have a rotation of all lefties. Why not if they're all good? All these lefties that we have are so good. Why can't you just do it? If it works, it works. I don't care. Oh no, you're gonna get the righties in their lineup. Too many at bats. Fuck them. They're not hitting these guys anyways. It doesn't matter.
Right, as Crochet blows a 99-mile-an-hour fastball by you.
As Jake Bennett shoves it right up your dick hole.
I'm about to make a reference that is so deep, I'll be lucky if one of our listeners get it. But in the Book of Mormon Broadway musical, there is a whole number where one of the main characters is just making all the shit up. And he's pretending to read out of the Bible. And he goes, hey, God, why should I not have sex with them? Huh? Why not? Huh? Why not? So that's what I think of when we're like, hey, we can't have a rotation of all lefties. And you're like, huh? Why not? God? Huh? Why can't we do that? So for the one fan that gets that reference, thank you. Please message me on
Christy.
Twitter. It is Christy.
Yeah.
They're all good. All the lefties are good.
Yeah.
All the
Oops, all
lefties and
lefties.
Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all really good. I could not be happier. And you're getting stuff out of Eduardo Rivera. Sandoval is coming up now. He's good. You did subtract a lefty from your roster after he had a pretty decent outing, truthfully. But we're looking at Brian Bayo coming up because we knew we needed an arm, and it's hilarious that Red Sox Nation collectively was like, no, God, no, please, no.
Well, we weren't even that sure because heading into that Sunday game, actually, there is one thing I want to talk about before we get there. Since that game, was obviously close throughout. It was 2-0 up until the 8th when I believe it was Monasterio hit a 2-run home run to make it 4-0. And then we had Danny Cockenballs come in. And oh my God, what a roller coaster.
And, oh my God, was he cock
immediately
and balls.
walks the first 2 guys.
Yeah.
And you're like, here we go. And gets out of it. I believe gets a nice double play. And then it's just like, okay, you're like, are we going to Chapman? It's just like, nope, Danny cocking balls again for the bottom of the ninth. And you're like, Jesus Christ. And we found out why after the game, and it ended up, being fine. Didn't end up getting, hurt or losing the game because of it. But it was absolutely the right move to DFA him after that. He has been very ineffective for you. And it sucks because we needed that lefty in spring training entering in the season. You wish you kind of got a little bit of a higher upside. I think a lot of people were hoping that he was going to kind of be like the Justin Wilson of last year, where you weren't expecting a lot and he ended up being decent. But it did just not work out, and it should have been even worse because he has more strikeouts or more walks than strikeouts this year, which is horrible. There's no way of looking at that positively, no matter how you split it. And it was like a 4.50 ERA, but
that's exactly what it is. Yep.
Yeah, it felt so much worse, and it was just a matter of time. You have a bunch of kids in Tyler Samaniego and even La Rosa or whatever his name is that can probably give you just more swing and miss from the left side. And when you have so many lefties already, he was giving you nothing of value. So, thank you for whatever innings that you threw for us, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, send him out on a high note. You just had better options, and you wanted more out of Danny cock and ball torture, but it was time. It was time.
Yeah.
Send him out.
And you
on
obviously
a high note.
needed to make a move for the next day, which, whoa, segue.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because you had Peyton Tolley starting, but obviously with him being so young, you're gonna manage that workload. You're going to take advantage of the All-Star break with some extra rest there, since it has kind of been like, you have seen how he has done better with extra days of rest. So, and you have all those games immediately after the All-Star break as well. So made all the sense in the world that you would want to, give him what ended up being 66 pitches, 3 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 Ks. It was a little shaky at times. I was there in person, which
you were,
yeah, very. And let me say, I went to Citi Field once back in 2018. Was very underimpressed, and this time around was blown away.
Yeah,
there's not a lot around the stadium, so
better.
they lose some points for that. But they have made it a whole lot better. They've added so many more food options. I got to check out all the team stores, and they have a little history museum in center field, and Mrs. Matt. And
Mrs.
Matt. Saw a good friend of mine there, went with the fiance. Beautiful day. Could not ask for much more. Excellent time there. So, kind of like I was saying earlier on in the show, very easy to get there from New England to Citi Field. A lot easier than anywhere else in New York City. I was able to get in and out pretty easily. Got some cheap parking nearby. So I will definitely be looking to do that again. But somebody else that made the trip as well was Brian Bayo.
Oh, Brian Bayo.
Yeah. Oh, Brian Bayo.
I think we all kind of had the same question as to, like, why not?
Yeah, why?
Well, why Brian Bayo, and also why not just let Peyton Tolley, pitch? And I get they're trying to manage his workload a bit, but I'm like, he's a starting pitcher. He knows what he signed up for. Do we have to watch Brian Bayo? And then Brian Bayo did okay.
Yeah.
He did fine.
I was very impressed from what I saw. I believe it was 4 1/3. 1 run on a solo homer to Francisco Lindor. Good hitter.
Yep.
Long at bat. You'll
Which
take
that tidbit becomes important later in the episode.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And I pulled it up here because I was so curious.
How'd he do?
Well, not only that, I'm more saying this for the season because it has been so funny seeing him with the opener versus just starting, obviously.
Oh, sure.
And this was another just hilarious example. And obviously, this was not an opener situation. He was just he ended up being more of the bulk guy. You were hoping probably to get 4, maybe 5 out of Peyton Tooley, depending on how effective he was.
Right.
And the bullpen has been used so much over this win streak, especially the back end guys. You've seen Whitlock and Slayton and Chapman go back-to-back days
you have.
throughout this 9-game win streak now. So you definitely understand that you can't just keep going to the well. And thankfully, you have the All-Star break now. And if you're able to get these guys a day of rest somewhere worked into there, or like extended into those 4 days into 5 days, really just have a nice full reset where they're just doing nothing, I'm sure, is absolutely ideal. But Brian Bayo as a starter throughout 8 starts this year, 10.35 ERA.
Oh.
Brian Bayo coming out of the bullpen, and this is 5 bullpen appearances, but 29 innings. So obviously these are pseudo starts.
Sure.
0.91 ERA. So as dramatically different as you can get, a 2.215 whip as a starter versus a 0.843 whip as a reliever. Strikeouts go up. The strikeouts per walk as a starter, 1.05, so essentially 1-to-1. But the strikeouts to walk as a reliever is 9. So 9 times as many strikeouts as walks as a reliever.
Holy shit.
So we'll see here. We obviously touched upon the injuries. You'll probably have to have Brian Bayo, throw some innings for you. But please, for the sake of God, use an opener or some type of piggyback situation, since I never want to see him start a game even again. He needs somebody just pitching in those first few innings for whatever reason.
Right. Those numbers are insane. That's kind of like what happened with Nick Pivetta when you moved him to the bullpen and you gave him an over.
And he ended up coming back.
Right.
Yeah, as a traditional starter.
Yeah, and I'm sure we do see another starter too out of Brian Bayo sometime this year. But the difference between those numbers is so fucking vastly insane.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you give him Eduardo Rivera every single time?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you give him Peyton Tooley every single time?
I think Eduardo Rivera might actually be the perfect opener for him. Yeah.
I think so too, which stinks because I would love to see Eduardo Rivera maybe throw 80 pitches at one point.
And you could just do it back to back. You could see how that goes. But anyways, we got to talk about the rest of this game before we do the mustard and everything, since it looked like we were pretty much dead in the water. We have seen this team struggle so much this year when they're trailing late in games. They have not had a 9th inning comeback for a win all season. And it's 2-0. Francisco Lindor has both of the RBIs in this game. And you have a leadoff walk from Cedar Rafael, or leadoff hit from Cedar Rafaela off of Devin Williams. And it looks like the game is over once Romy Gonzalez hits a ground ball to Francisco Lindor.
Right.
Taylor made double play every day of the week. Romy's still a bit banged up very clearly.
Yeah.
And it should have ended the game, and it did not. Oh.
Why? What happened?
Bobbled it. Guys get on. Walk. Bases loaded. Another walk. The run comes in. And then you have Jaron Duran who's come up, who is having quite the interesting
rough stretch. Yeah.
I was trying to even be nice about it, but entering in that at bat, I believe it was 0 for his last 15, and it's an under 200 batting average this year. It's around a 250 on base percentage. He's hit a few home runs. He's stolen a few bases. But there's no denying that has been a pretty bad season for him. Yeah. And he hits a pop-up-ish. It's past the infield, but it is in no man's land. It falls in. The game is tied. And you just hope that gets him going a little bit. It ties the game. And it looks like he might even take the lead. And Massa hits a line drive right at the second baseman, and it's a double play. But, we have not seen a true rally like that from the Red Sox in the 9th inning this entire season.
No.
And I believe, we were 0-40 or whatever this year when trailing in the 9th inning. Or
I would believe you. I don't know if it's actually 0-40, but it seems like it would be 0-40.
Yeah. And then The one thing I wanted to touch on in the 10th inning, Christy mentions, we do got to wrap this up a little bit early, so we'll do a quick mustard today.
Sure.
But Alex Cora was always famous saying you need to go for 2 in extra innings, but you saw Connor Wong bunt in the 10th, and then a sac fly from Siegler to get the 1 run, and then Whitlock,
which was Yoshida. Yep.
And then you have Whitlock close it out, game time run, on second base, not his own issue. But yeah, I think that's been kind of the biggest difference between Chad Tracy and Alex Cora is a little bit more small ball.
Yep.
And it paid off. I'm not sure we win that game with Alex Cora, with all due respect, just because he would have just let us bat. And who knows if we end up even scoring the go-ahead run in the 10th inning.
Right.
So I was very glad to see that.
And another gift that you have a backup guy like Garrett Whitlock, right? So, did you press the mustard button?
I have not yet.
A little extra mustard.
Mustard. Did you press the button?
I pressed the button.
I figured you would.
It's still going.
Yeah. Yeah.
It goes on for longer than you expect every single time.
It does, but I try and talk after the words are done. Lovely, lovely week of Red Sox baseball. I don't think the Angels, White Sox, and Mets are a particularly hard test, but stacking 9 wins is important.
You got to win those games. They matter all the same.
And we had a lot of really great performances from a lot of really, really great guys this week. Why don't you kick us off?
I went last week, so you go first.
You want me to go first?
You go first this week.
All right. I'm actually going to give quick recognition to our friend on the Mets, Devin Williams, was giving all of those change-ups a little extra mustard. You could always tell which was a change-up and which was a fastball. Worked out for us, especially at the end of that. And I'm actually going to give it to Connor Wong's bunt.
Okay.
Yeah, so I love what Devin Williams did for this team. I love the Connor Wong sack bunt that put Siegler in scoring position to get you home and win you the game. So Connor Wong's bunt had a little extra mustard.
Yeah. We just talked about it, but I got to give it to Brian Bayo this week.
God.
Like, unexpected, but, you don't know where this bullpen was going to be on Sunday after using everybody the last few days. Chapman was available. You didn't even know about Whitlock, pitching so much. So the fact that he was able to give you some bulk, keep you in that game. That's all that you had to ask for, is him keeping you in that game. He did that, and we do not win that game without Brian Bayo. And, even if you do lose that game on Sunday, I don't think it changes the vibes much on this team right now, truth be told. But the fact that you were able to come back and win and go into the All-Star break with these immaculate vibes, you have to thank him for it. So I'm giving a little extra mustard to Brian Bayo this week.
Well, you know what? I love the mustard pick. And Contreras is up first, so we better get to the Derby.
Yeah, we gotta get going. I'm sure it's gonna be in 15 minutes anyways, but
yeah. Well, I think it's important to remember that I love you. Okay, love you. Bye. No, I love you. Okay.
Socks.